Hi, beloved. I'm Tamala, your empowerment partner, professor, and psychic, and welcome to your empowerment place. Today, we're answering questions. So, I've already connected with my guides, and I have a couple questions from one of my clients who sent in. So, we're going to see what they say. Question number two: how can I consistently and intentionally live my life at a higher frequency? So, this is an amazing question, and it's going to be a very complicated answer. So, bear with me. There's a lot of steps we have to go through to live at a higher frequency. And what does higher frequency mean? It means a higher vibrational rate. And when we move our vibration up, our frequency up, when we're moving from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, right? There's a lot of stuff we have to do to get to that higher vibration. Okay. In a nutshell, this is not everything, but just ballparking it is we have to actually change our thoughts, our emotions, our words, and our actions away from this lower vibration and into the higher vibration that we want to go to. And that takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of reprogramming our thoughts and emotions, a lot of processing, a lot of healing, a lot of trauma healing and releasing, a lot of learning new patterns of behavior, new patterns of thoughts, new patterns of emotions, new patterns of actions, right? So it takes a lot of work just to shift. Now, once we've shifted, you think, oh, well, now I've shifted, I've changed my thoughts and emotions, right? I've changed, now I've shifted, but it is so easy to drop back down into that lower vibration because we fall back into those old patterns. We get triggered by those old things, right? That we haven't yet really healed, right? We may be working on them and we may be 85% healed. But if we can get triggered and drop back down into that frequency, it's not healed. Okay. So we got to keep working on it. And so the question is, how can I consistently and intentionally stay at that higher frequency or that higher vibration? And that's going to require an enormous amount of presence and awareness in every moment. And I'm going to be honest with you, it can be really taxing. It can be exhausting. But if it's what you really, really want, you can do it. And if it's on your heart, it's what your soul's calling you to do anyway, right? And most of us get to the point in some area of our life where we're like, I'm going to fix this. I'm not going to live this way anymore. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change it. And we do the work and we get to that next level. And then occasionally we fall back. Then we get to that next level for real. And once we're at that next level, now we're at that higher vibration. What do? We don't have any experience being this new person. And so, what we have to do as this new person at this new vibration that has new thoughts and new emotions and new experiences and new words and new actions, what do? How do we be this new person? And the question I always ask myself is, what does this new person think? What does this new person do? What does this new person feel? Oh, well, they don't feel that way because that's the lower vibration person. So, what does a newer vibration person? I'll give you an example. Hold on, let me take a drink. So, an example is, let's say I want to shift my business from making $3,000 a month to making $5,000 a month. Okay. It's not a big jump, but depending on where your thoughts and emotions and your energy is around money, it could be a big jump. And so there's choices that you make as the $3,000 a month person, right? There's business choices that you make, there's advertising, marketing choices you make, there's content that you offer choices that you make. If you're, an entrepreneur and you do that, or if you work for someone else, there's choices that you make about what you do that is commiserate or reflective or a fair energy exchange for that $3,000 a month, right? But if you want to go to $5,000 a month, that can be a different fair energy exchange, right? Because you're already plateaued in this 3,000 area. What would a person who makes $3,000 a month say in this situation versus what would a person who makes $5,000 a month say? How would they answer the question? And it can take a lot of getting out of your own way, a lot of thinking and feeling differently. Because if you start thinking and feeling like the person who makes $5,000 a month, or let's say $10,000 a month, or $30,000 a month, it doesn't matter. Every step, you're going to have this same process. You're no longer going to be the person you used to be. You're now going to be this new person. And as this new person, this higher vibrational person, you have to think, feel, speak, and act as the new person. And so the question is always, what would this person do? What would $5,000 me do? What would $50,000 me do? Right? Because those are going to be completely different answers. As $50,000, if you're making $50,000 a month, you have way more choices than if you're making $3,000 a month. And that's also something that happens with our up level is we now have access to different choices. There are different choices in experiences, in what is available as a next choice. Because if we want to go to $10,000 a month from 3,000, we don't have the same choices that we have for 10. So we've got to get there, right? So from the $3,000 a month, we have a choice of, okay, I can't yet hire support. I can't hire an assistant. But what can I do that's going to create the most return on my investment? Meaning, I'm going to put time and effort in and get financial recompense back, right? I'm going to do stuff and I'm going to get money for it. So, what can I do that's going to get me the most amount of money back, right? Those are the kind of questions that you're asking at a $3,000 level. At the $10,000 level, and I'm talking about a month, you may say, okay, now I have the funds to hire a virtual assistant or an assistant or someone to help me in my business in marketing or something, right? And you say, okay, if I take marketing off my plate and I give it to this person that I hired, that frees up a percentage of my job. It frees up a percentage of my day. So now what am I going to choose to do with that percentage? Say it's 25% of your week gets freed up that you don't have to do because this other person is now doing the marketing for your business. 25%. Well, if you're working 4 days a week, that's a whole day. You don't have to work, right? On marketing. So that whole day, are you going to choose to do different work? Are you going to choose to, I'm going to focus more on content delivery. I'm going to focus more on getting results for my clients. Or are you going to say, you know what? I want that day to be self-care. And so now I'm at the point where I can choose to work 3 days a week. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. And so see that choice of I can either only work 3 days a week and still make good money because the work is still getting done. I can still make my $10,000 a month because the work is still getting done because I've hired this person to do the marketing stuff. So I only have to work 3 days a week now. Or you can say, I'm going to focus on getting better results for my clients so that I can get more and more testimonials, so that I can get more and more clients. That is available for you at that $10,000 a month. That's not available for you at $3,000, because at $3,000 a month, you can't afford to hire somebody to do all your marketing. You can't afford to only work 3 days a week if you're already working 5 days a week and only making $3,000, and nobody's taking over that extra work, right? And so if you think about it logically, because we are in the human experience and everything does follow logic, even the magical miracles, they still follow logic. And it means that to consistently and intentionally be at that higher vibration, every thought, every emotion, every word, and every action have to be aligned with that higher vibration. And it takes work and it takes effort and it's not easy. Unless you can allow yourself to be the highest vibrational person you can be in that moment. That's the easiest thing you can do. Every moment, what's the highest vibrational thing I can do right now? What's the highest vibrational thing I can do right now? What's the highest vibrational thing I can do in this relationship? What's the highest vibrational thing I can do on this video? What's the highest vibrational thing I can do in my advertising? What's the highest vibrational thing I can do in my marketing? If you can ask yourself that question about everything, what's the highest vibrational food I can eat today? What's the highest vibrational conversation I can have with these people today? If you ask yourself that question about everything, then you are going to be more intentional and you'll be able to make decisions that are more consistent with the higher vibrational state that you want to be in. So I hope that's helpful. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share this with anyone you think could benefit, and I will see you next time.